Born and bred in KL, grew up in KL, was fortunate enough to study in London, actually studied engineering at Imperial College, but then decided that engineering wasn't for me and decided to be an investment banker because that's what everyone else was doing back in 2010 when I graduated. Ultimately, I wanted to be in a position where I could build something and create value. So I did banking for 6 years, in London and San Francisco, and then came back to KL, fortunate enough to get a role where I was working with one of the serial entrepreneurs in the region, Patrick Grove. Did that. That was my first taste in the tech and media world. Fell in love with it. Tech is a huge enabler for growth in the region and in Malaysia going forward, and media is such a fun and vibrant space to be in. So being able to work at the intersection of tech and media was something that I enjoyed and felt really passionate about. And years later, I find myself in this position, leading a business that what I like to think is, pioneering some of the cool things we're doing in this space. I lead the iQiyi's business for Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and Brunei. So for those who don't know, so iQiyi's is actually the largest streaming service in China. It's a pioneer in the streaming service in China. It was established in 2009 or 2010, and it's listed on the NASDAQ. So the business started to expand into Southeast Asia and particularly Malaysia end of 2019 and early 2020. So I was the first hire here in Malaysia, tasked to set up the business over here. We want to be the leader in Asian entertainment. So when I say Asian entertainment, I mean Korean, Chinese, anime, and local content in the local markets we operate in. Happy to say that, because of all the love everyone has for Asian content, we've seen tremendous growth since I've joined in June 2020, where we have crossed more than 10 million downloads already in Malaysia alone, and we're one of the largest streaming services in the country. Asian content is exploding right now. Everyone loves Asian content, right? And I'm sure like most of you would have watched an Asian show by now. But so what we're seeing is that there's massive demand for Asian content, which is what the space that we're playing in and what we want to offer to our users. But we're also seeing that users love all kinds of Asian content, whether it's Korean, Chinese, local content, and anime as well. So I think the pandemic has really accelerated a trend that was happening anyway. So I think, since the last 5 years, we see more and more people shifting to watching content on demand on a streaming platform. I think what happened during the pandemic, when people were just stuck at home with not much to do, the demand for content, and the demand for being able to watch things on demand anytime they wanted on any device was just greatly exaggerated. But what we're seeing is that once you've experienced viewing content on demand on any device with a great viewing experience, you want to stick with it. And that's exactly what we're seeing at iQiyi's right now. So in terms of local content, what we've done so far is we've worked with amazing partners in the local ecosystem that have already been producing great content, great local content for years and years. And we're working with them closely to provide that content from them for our users. What we also want to do going forward is to also invest directly in local content production. We really see ourselves as not just being a passive player in the local content ecosystem, but we really want to be an active one by investing directly in productions with the hope of elevating productions in Malaysia and with the dream of actually taking them global. So we really want to be the go-to platform for local producers for the global export of their local content and local storytelling.